Hello there, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. We are at the end of the season with Napoli. The FM23 beta just dropped, so we are about to test it. I will be streaming later tonight on Twitch, but first let's recap a little bit the story. We started with a historical figure in Italy, Girolamo Savonarola, a Dominican friar, and we put him in Football Manager with just only the few national badges to manage to land a job somewhere in the lower leagues. We managed to land a job with Pro Patria in Serie C, and after 2 seasons we were fighting for promotion in the promotion playoffs for Serie B. After that season we managed to go to Serie B side Benevento, and from there we won Serie B. After winning Serie B, we got an offer that we couldn't refuse from Napoli, and now we are managing Napoli, and at the end of this season we are mounting a Champions League challenge. I hope that you are enjoying the setting here, because we try to upscale a little bit, to upgrade a little bit the room, the setting, the quality of the videos, the lighting and everything else. We will be making more of these Let's Play series in Football Manager 2023. We will start with a very interesting beta save also in Italy. This is a hint, and if you haven't subscribed so far, make sure you do it right now, so we know that a lot of people are watching and there is enough demand for us to be going on and making these kind of videos also in Football Manager 2023, and maybe even more often than now. If we are going to the table, we see that we are in 6th place. I'm not very happy about the place, but I'm quite happy about the points. We have 63 points, which is not that bad after a very tough season with Juventus there on top. You see them 89 points, quite a distance from Inter and Milan. The two teams in Milan were kind of trying to fight Juventus throughout the season, but they didn't manage to really put a lot of pressure on them. 89 points, Juventus are the champions. We are putting pressure on Lazio and Udinese for a place in Champions League. If we are managing to win the next match that we have against Fiorentina, we will be there in the Champions League. Granted, if if Lazio and Udinese both do not win their matches also, otherwise we will be probably in Europa League, 6th place, 5th place, somewhere there, which is not bad, but it's not great, you know. Now let's see the schedule and what happened so far. So we had a loss against Sassuolo end of October 2025, and that kind of dragged us down a little bit, so we didn't manage to pick up our form in the month of November and the month of December. Even though we had a lot of matches without losing, we made unfortunately a lot of draws against weaker teams, and we had to change something. So I went to this guy, RDF Tactics channel, that you can find also in the description, and I found a very good offensive wing tactic, because if you remember from the beginning of the season, we had a strategy into buying and bringing in all of these players who are very fast dribblers, wingers, that we wanted to use very much in the season. So after that we managed some very good wins against Bologna, against Verona. We managed a win on penalties after Leonardo Bonucci missed this one. And Halil Dervishoglu managed to score our winning goal, so we went further in the cup, but we lost back, coming back to Serie A against Udinese. After this we had some wins and losses. We managed a few very good results against Lazio. Here we put some pressure on Juventus and on Inter. I was very happy about these 2 matches, even though we lost against Milan. Milan had some very good attackers like Julian Alvarez and Rafael Leao, very fast ones. After this we had quite a good spell, I would say, with 2 wins against Parma, against Benevento, scoring 5 goals in each. Then a couple of draws against better teams like Atalanta and Sassuolo. We are a bit above Atalanta, but we were fighting Sassuolo all the season for these European places. We had some slumps against Cagliari or against Roma here, where the match was kind of tight, even though they kind of scored very at a very small interval. Tammy Abraham 37th minute and then 44th minute, so they had an advantage coming into the second half, but I feel that we weren't that bad. After the match, we managed to avenge the loss against Milan, and Andrea Bellotti won us the match. We had some very good games after that, 4 goals against Bologna, and we are now in the last game week of the season, 63 points, 1 point below Udinese and Lazio. As you can see here very clearly, we have improved a little bit our defense, and we managed to score also a lot of goals. We are 4th in terms of goals scored, if I'm not wrong, and we are quite good in terms of goals conceded. We probably could have scored more goals. We probably could have avoided some of these draws. I was always looking at the table and thinking, out of these 15, if we manage just 10 more points, just 5 draws to turn into wins, 10 more points would have brought us a little bit higher, and we would have kind of nailed down that Champions League spot. Now, going to the tactics board, as I said, we brought in a tactic from RDF Tactics. We kind of adapted it for our players, so some of these things are changed, but it is kind of a 4-2-4 with 2 wingers. And we put here Carrasco, and on the left side Lozano. At the beginning of the season we started Ferreira, Carrasco somewhere on the left side, maybe wing back or winger, left winger, something like this, but I think his best role was here on the right, and he was better than Politano or even Hirvin Lozano. Lozano is quite good on the left side, so this works, and we keep it this way for the remainder of the season. We also brought in Paredes, who had a very good collaboration here in the middle of the park with Fabian Ruiz. The two could have played together also at Paris Saint-Germain, but as you know, Paredes was sold to Juventus in real life, and Fabian was brought in from Napoli by Paris Saint-Germain, and they didn't play together actually, but I think that they are getting along very well, the Spanish Fabian with the Argentinian Leandro Paredes, 30 and 31, so we didn't really base ourselves on youth too much. If you remember, we brought in Kyle Walker, was one of the first transfers that we made. We brought in also on loan, because Leandro Paredes is on loan, I think from Barcelona. We brought in Kondogbia from Atletico Madrid, 33 years old. He's very good as a backup. Castrovilli was benched since Paredes came in the winter transfer window. Charles de Ketterer did not find his place also, and we prefer to keep these two guys as ball-playing defenders, Rahmani and Koulibaly, with Golini playing better, let's say, in the second half of the season. If you remember, at one time I was thinking even to sell him and to bring in another good goalkeeper, but I kept him, and he kind of delivered as a sweeper keeper, a little bit better than as goalkeeper defend. And Evanilson and Bellotti as the two attackers, very good, not scoring a lot of goals, but they were there. Bellotti was a very good surprise, even though we are much more into the future than what you are in the, let's say, first season. But he delivered, 32 years old, he scored 16 goals overall, and I am quite happy about him. Yeah, 19 goals, let's say, in all the different competitions that we were involved with. Evanilson, 13 goals. If we are looking at the assists table, we have Fabian and Pedro Neto, who didn't play too much because I was not very happy with how he did on the wings, and I think that this was kind of one of the mistakes that we did. Not in the fact that he is a bad player, he's a very good player for this level, and he should for sure play at this level, but more into the fact that we spent so much money on him that we probably shouldn't, and should have used those funds for some other players. So let's get into things. Fiorentina away, let's go! Alright, we have this team, very nice team. I think that we should be favorites here, so even though if Udinese and Sassuolo don't win, we should win this match, so the expectations are quite high. I am a little bit tense about it. I will bring in the Kettler just to kind of calm me a little bit, and let's say, who can we bring on the left side? This is a very good question, because we sold let's say 2 players in the winter transfer season. We sold Callum Hudson-Odoi to Bayern Munich for quite a hefty sum, which kind of allowed us to bring in these 2 players, Paredes and Kondogbia. We sold also Manuel Lazzari. I didn't want to sell him, but the fact is that we didn't have enough registration places, so we needed to sell someone, and he was the only one that kind of got a good offer, good enough offer. He had a decent wage, let's say more on the high side, but we had to do something, because otherwise we couldn't register Paredes and Kondogbia, and we really needed them. Charbonnier I couldn't ship out, even though he's under 21, so he was not registered. Mandragora, nobody comes for him, or Kyle Walker, or even Jesus Vallejo. I tried to loan out, nothing happened. So now we are a little bit short on the sides for fullbacks, but what we are going to do now is to bring in Jesus Vallejo as right fullback and put Di Lorenzo as a wingback on the left side. Now, if you see here, these are pretty much the instructions for this very simple wing playing tactic, very narrow, but also using a lot the wings. It's not exactly the 4-2-4 that RDF tactic is describing, but it's close to that, and it helped us a lot during the second half of this season. Rahmani, Koulibaly, the same, let's say, couple in the center of defense. Fabian and Paredes are getting along very well. They are very good in the center of the midfield. I put the Kettler there with Belotti in the attack. Let's go! So let's kick it off on Fiorentina's Artemio Franchi Stadium. They are in 15th place, we are on 6th place. Ricardo is Gallo, but Lozano recovers. Now Rahmani on the defense, can he bring a pass? Lozano now, Lozano goes towards the center. Now Paredes, Belotti, very fast passes, and now Belotti outside, just above the crossbar from outside of the box. A good shot, but I'm expecting a little bit more. But we are passing very fast, and it shows that we know how to play this. We have very few people there. You could see that Fiorentina had much more people in our box than what we had, so they could have taken advantage of that, but they didn't. Lozano is kind of tired already after 25 minutes, so I don't know what to say about him. He goes to the World Cup with the Mexico team in 2026. They are also, as far as I know, hosting the World Cup. We have already 3 yellow cards. Parma and Milan are in front, so we are supposed to win this. If we win this, we may be on 4th place. Let's see, Carrasco for Belotti. Belotti is running in there. A little bit too late. Terracciano. Abel Ruiz with a good dribbling, and Juanmi now. Juanmi can bring in a cross for Pobega. Biraghi, Isco. Isco must be like 34 now, something like this. Sotil! Oh, very good Golini there. Very good Golini. Milan is 2-0 at Sassuolo. No, the goal was disallowed for Milan. We are 0-0 at the break. I don't understand this. We even have less XG. We simply have to be better. But I will do a change. I will change Irving Lozano because he's injured. Yeah, he already has an injury. And let's see who can we bring. I'm bringing in Evanilson and putting the Ketterer here as a inverted winger, even though he's not very fast, but he should be able to probably do a little bit more. Let's see if this works. I hope that it works because we should be better than Fiorentina for sure. They are playing well. They have this 4-2-3-1, but they have a good day, it seems. With a win here, you could see we are shooting up the table and going to 4th place, but not a lot in this match. Di Lorenzo for Belotti. Di Lorenzo and Belotti now. Belotti with a good cross and Carrasco scoring. Ferreira Carrasco. Very good, very good, very good. We're on the good path. We see here Belotti from Di Lorenzo. And then again Belotti with the cross and Carrasco scores. 62 minutes, 1-0. And we have a free kick with Paredes now. And they can go on the counter. Let's see. Jesus Vallejo with a bad tackle there, but he deserves his yellow card. But well, what can you do in this situation? Nothing but to tackle. Let's see what changes can we make actually. Let's see what are the changes that we can realistically make so that we can go on with this match. We will probably need to bring in Carrasco down here as a left back, wing back, maybe complete wing back support, and Di Lorenzo will be on defense. And then what else can we do? We can bring in Castrovilli to kind of kill the game against the Ketterer, and he will play here in the middle of these two guys as a box-to-box midfielder. We will play cautious, but the rest of the instructions will remain the same. We'll probably try to not be so narrow towards the let's say later parts of the match. Now Sotil can bring in a cross, good cross, Koulibaly and Biraghi on the other side, on the left side. Biraghi can bring in a cross and Koulibaly there, very good Koulibaly, and we are on the counter now. Evanilson, oh, Biraghi with a tackle there, good tackle, it was not a foul. Now Scalvini on the right side. Hefty can bring in a cross. Let's hope it's not that good. Di Lorenzo, good. And now oh my god, the cross and Sotil there. Biraghi, I think who was it? From the left side with an amazing cross. We could lose everything now with this. After the red card from Jesus Vallejo, but he didn't have any choice there. I'm not going to put this on Jesus Vallejo. Let's probably make a little bit of changes. So we will go positive. These are the changes. We will go positive, and I changed Fabian with Kondogbia. Let's see if this works. Pobega now, Sotil. They have one more man, so they can kind of profit from this. Hefty. Aber Ruiz scores again. Fiorentina kind of wins this, which probably means that we are down. We are actually on 5th place. We could have been on 4th. Udinese is also losing. We have better goal difference than them. We are on positive. We may go to attacking. The last game of the season. Nothing else happens, and Fiorentina just came back from a 1-0 to win 2-1 against us at home. Yeah, which is fair. Jesus Vallejo did this maybe error, but I think he didn't have a choice, so I wouldn't put this result on him. That's it. Sometimes the result doesn't go our way, but we did our job. Last match of the season, we didn't manage to win, but we're there. I think probably we finished the season on 6th place. Just as we started this video, we were in 6th place. Very dramatic end of the season. Yeah, we are going to Europa Conference League. Napoli 63 points, 16 wins, 15 draws and 7 losses. It was not a very good season, but if probably we are usually doing very well in the second season. Probably if we would have one more season with the transfer budget that we had last year. Now in Europa Conference League, yeah, we are not in Champions League, but we are not that bad. We probably would have mounted a title challenge. We probably would have put a much better team in place. 38 games, 6th place with Napoli. We brought him from 10th place to 6th in the first season in Serie. Very interesting. Peasant to Pope. Stay tuned because FM2022 is dropping in and we will have more and more videos on this channel and more interesting content.